Good evening, clearance number 847 Delta Shelter information Zulu 2 Bravo Hotel Bravo, please.
November 847 Delta going to Bravo Hotel Bravo, the LaGuardia for departure runway 13, Whitestone climb, radar vectors to the Merritt, direct Hartford, direct Putnam, direct Bravo Hotel Bravo, maintain 5,000, expect flight level 250, 10 minutes after departure, departure is 120.8, squawk is 2615.
Stand by 1 for the repack, please. Number 847 Delta, clear to the Bahama Airport via the LaGuardia 4 departure, Whitestone climb. Radar vectors Merritt, Hartford, Putnam, direct to destination, initially 5,000, level 250 in 10 minutes. Frequency is 120.8, the code 2615.
47 Delta, read correct data to Yankee, have a good day.
Yankee, good day. Hello, November 847 Delta, the General Aviation ramp ready for taxi information, I think it's Yankee.
Alright, November 847 Delta, LaGuardia ground, roger, taxi Foxtrot, double Bravo to runway 13.
Runway 13 via Foxtrot and double Bravo, November 847 Delta. Okay, I got our taxi clearance. One thing at a time here.
Ground, good evening, Delta 2019, Delta 6 for push to 30 on mic.
So 2019, LaGuardia ground, pushback approved.
Approved, Delta 2019.
We're now on Foxtrot, returning left on taxiway double Bravo. (5,000 feet the initial altitude).
847 Delta, LaGuardia ground.
This is 84, go.
Yeah, just there's an amendment to your route there. Let's see what we got there. After, it's going to be Merritt, Hartford, Putnam, and there's after Putnam it's going to be Kennebunk, which is spelled Echo November Echo, then Bar Harbor.
Okay, after Putnam, Kennebunk to Bar Harbor, that's cockpit and we'll comply with. We continue taxi Bravo Bravo Foxtrot to Foxtrot Bravo Bravo 213.
847 Delta, affirmative, and you'll be next. You come on up tower on 18.7. Good day.
Great, thank you. 847 Delta. And from 847 Delta, just confirm we're going to turn in left into Papa here for 13.
I'm sorry, say that again, please.
847 Delta, just confirming we're turning left on Papa for runway 13.
Yeah, left on Golf or Papa, whichever one. Sorry, I didn't specify that. Yeah, either one is approved there for 847 Delta.
Yeah, we're going to Golf here.
What ground, vehicle 61?
61 ground.
Good evening, at Echo, holding short of 22 to cross, 1 Eagle.
61.
Here, 847 Delta, LaGuardia tower on 13 line up and wait.
Line up and wait 13, 847 Delta.
Hey, LaGuardia clearance, JetBlue 499.
Delta, menu squawk,
Yes, sir, JetBlue 499. We're over at Alpha 3.
Was that for 847 Delta?
If we're for 7 Delta, the numbers are reversed in the squawk. It should be 2615.
2615, and we are lining up point. Okay, let's do the checklist. Transponder leader, speed levers to come.
847 Delta, runway 13, clear for takeoff on 18012.
Clear for takeoff 13, 847 Delta. Airspeed is alive. 80 knots cross check, all normal. 100 knots.
Delta, fly the Whitestone climb, contact near departure, good day.
Whitestone climb, departure 847 Delta. Hello, departure November 847 Delta, 500 feet on the Whitestone climb.
847 Delta, near radar contact, I'll maintain 10,000.
Climbing 1010, 847 Delta.
AC 5769, climb to 15,000, top 280.
Okay, climb to 15,000, turn left to a heading of 280 for AC 5765.
Thank you.
Departure 948 Heavy with you. We're at a 3,200 feet going to 6,000 and we're rolling out 040.
United 48 Heavy near, climb to maintain 10,000.
10,000, 10,000, United 48 Heavy.
One 57 Alpha Lima, descend to maintain 5,000.
5,000 feet, Alpha Lima.
Approach hello, sir, Canada 724 with you, 11-9, descending 9,000.
Canada 724 near, descend to maintain 7,000.
We're on the Whitestone climb. That describes that we have to roll up and heading off at 040.
Canada departure 12085.
2085, AC 5765.
Okay, I'm running the after takeoff check. It was an easy climb out. The after takeoff climb checklist is completed. We continue on a heading of 040.
847 Delta, menu altitude, maintain 9,000.
Please stop at 9,000, then heading 040, 847 Delta. New altitude 9,000 feet, cross check.
United 64, climb maintain 10,000.
Leaving 6, climb maintain 10,000, United 64.
I'm sorry, is that 26 Echo Victor asking? Yeah, you can go over to the tower now, and radar service terminated, stay on the code, contact Danbury Tower, good day.
It was passing to 10,000 feet, we're checking the pressurization, shutting off some lights, and as usual go through the checklist. We are initially cleared to climb to 12,000 feet, but we expect to higher shortly. Our final filed altitude is flight level 250.
November 847 Delta, climb and maintain 14,000.
Climbing 14,000, 847 Delta.
Flagship 3385,
14,000 set.
290, 3385.
847 Delta, climb maintain flight level 190.
Climbing level 190, 847 Delta. 190 confirmed.
1282, descend to maintain flight level 230.
Out of 240 for 230, JetBlue 1282.
JetBlue 418, contact Boston on 133.42.
3342, JetBlue 418.
Center, extension 964, passing 12 for 13.
The Dash 10 Garrett engines don't have a fixed IGT for maximum continuous climb. So based on the outside air temperature, which is 0 degrees, I have a maximum available of 560, and I'll set these sliders here to 520 to have some buffer and not to make sure not to exceed these temperatures.
Altimeter is 3000.
Madison at 11, so it's 944.
Triple 1282, clear direct to Providence and safe speed.
Direct Providence, currently 300, JetBlue.
Good news, we just have been cleared direct to our destination, Bar Harbor. We continue the climb to flight level 210. The rate of climb has gone down to 500 feet a minute. We're doing already 225 knots over the ground. 40 knot tailwind is helping us. And the fuel flows have dropped considerably. We are now down to 250 pounds per side, and we expect to have around 210, 215 pounds per side at flight level 250. That's a very economic flying. I just called Boston and requested flight level 230 instead of 250 as a final. We're a bit heavy for that altitude, so there's only 2,000 feet to climb. We'll cruise at flight level 230, 23,000 feet today.
United 64, contact Boston Center 133.45, so long.
We're about to level off at flight level 230. The ground speed is already 236 knots, as an indicated airspeed of 130 and a true of 191. We have a 44 knot calculated tailwind, minus 15 degrees Celsius. The airplane will now accelerate over a time of about 5 minutes. We expect a true airspeed of around 250 knots here, so with that tailwind we should see about 290 knots ground speed easily. We're on the cruise checklist. Cruise power is set. Boost pump switches stay on, aux transfer switches are both off, the aux tanks are depleted. The fuel quantity is checked and balanced. We have plenty of fuel on board and the pressurization is set for 230 and we have a good differential pressure. Just have given a descent clearance pilot's discretion down to 11,000. That means we can decide when we want to start the descent at this point. We're still 106 miles from destination, so out of a cruising level of 230, we start the descent probably at about 75 miles this side from Bar Harbor and maintaining a rate of descent of about 1,500 feet. I've programmed this in the GPS as well, and we have now a profile. The vertical speed required now to be at 2,000 feet at the airport would be 900 feet. We wait until this is about 1,300 feet and we start our descent. We are approaching now about 75 miles distance to our destination airport. We're approaching our VNAV, our vertical profile, so we start the descent to 11,000 feet. I will announce Boston of doing so and run the checklist. Boston November 847 Delta, we start the descent PD down to 11,000.
847 Delta, Roger, thank you.
Pressurization. The most important part of the descent checklist is to reset the pressurization for 11,000 feet, and we dial this in here. 11,000 set. Checklist is completed, so we start the descent on the autopilot to 11,000 feet.
Air County 1170, Boston, Roger.
The aircraft accelerates quickly. We're doing already 300 knots ground speed. Still accelerating, so I have to reduce the torque here on the engines to avoid overspeeding. 310 knots ground speed. We're doing 1800 feet a minute. I'll reduce this to 1500 feet a minute.
Ratio 630, contact Boston Center 134.905.
Boston 134.905, 630 button.
Reach 3603, contact Moncton Center 126.32.
Approaching now flight level 180, so I'm setting the local altimeter settings 3004 and cross-check the altimeters. We're now descending through 8,000 feet direct to the airport. We expect a visual approach from the 22. I might even cancel IFR before that to go overhead the field and then left downwind for runway 22. We are 16 miles out, 7,500 feet and descending. To get as much as possible out of the way regarding checklists. Approach is briefed. It's good. Number 847 Delta, we have the airport in sight. I'd like to cancel IFR and go over to CTAP.
847 Delta, radar service terminus, calling VFR. Frequency changes approved. You have a good day.
Thank you, good night. Harbor traffic King Air is approaching the field from the southwest. We're 13 miles out, descending to 6,000. The routing will be over at the field, joining left downwind from the 22 at Bar Harbor. Number 847 Delta now over at the field, bridge on left downwind, landing 22 at Bar Harbor. Over to the King Air is now left downwind from the 22 Bar. Over the traffic, the King Air is now turning final approach for runway 22 Bar Harbor. Checklist is completed. Power drive the King Air on final approach runway 22. We are exactly on the visual glide path at night. It is very important to not to fly too low. Check 3 greens. checklist is completed. Continue. Knots. Barometer of the King is clear on the active 22. Bring the aircraft to a quick stop here after landing to run the checklist. Flaps identified up. After landing checklist completed.